Welcome to the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. In each episode, we're going to bring you insightful interviews and discussions with top restoration industry leaders. We're also going to delve into their business, the strategies that made them successful, and most importantly, the valuable lessons they've learned along the way. I'm your host, Clinton James. I'm also the Chief Marketing Officer at Water Restoration Marketing. We're a digital marketing agency dedicated to helping restoration companies nationwide secure more high-value water jobs. Now, this show, it aims to provide you with the knowledge and tools you need to excel in the restoration industry. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. I am your host, Clinton James. I'm also the Chief Marketing Officer over at Water Restoration Marketing.
And I'm your co-host, Bobby Thomas. I'm the CEO of Extreme Services.
So, Bobby, we recently had a conversation about adding an additional service to increase revenues, and that was duct cleaning. You gave the audience some great insight if that's something that they're looking to do in terms of the equipment they need to buy, the training they need to do, the certifications, licenses, and then obviously what it means to the bottom line, right, in terms of revenue and profit there. Had me thinking, you didn't get into the restoration space through water mitigation. You got into the restoration space with another service, and it is a service that Extreme Services still offers and still makes a lot of money on. What was that service, Bobby?
Carpet cleaning.
All right. Now, I know some folks in our audience kind of look down their nose at carpet cleaning. They think it's a level down or a rung below restoration companies there. We're going to dispel that myth and talk about how a restoration company can add carpet cleaning as an additional service and how that can be really, really profitable for those restoration companies. But before we do that, take us back, Bobby, to before you got into restoration. Take us back to the car. Take us back to the piece of equipment that actually got you into this space, which was carpet cleaning. What was the year, Bobby?
And it was 2011. We got started.
All right. So in 2011, what was a younger Bobby Thomas doing at the time? And how did you get into doing carpet cleaning?
So the younger Bobby Thomas was, I owned a commercial cleaner franchise. I owned the System 4 commercial cleaner franchise.
Sure.
But like I talked about on the last podcast last year, I hated working overnight, man, away from being with the family and things of the nature. So I started looking for another niche. So I found carpet cleaning. It's a niche within the janitorial space. And it was something I saw that we could do during the daytime.
Okay.
So I decided to make the shift. I said, look, I don't even know how to clean carpet. We're going to run this Groupon. We ran that Groupon. So $5,000 worth of coupons and went to Home Depot, rented the Rug Doctor, put it in the back of my 2000 Honda Accord Coupe. And that's how we made it happen.
All right. So I'm guessing that you don't still use a Rug Doctor or the Honda Coupe anymore. All right. So let's talk first about let's dispel some myths. Because again, I have talked to restoration company owners, folks that didn't come from carpet cleaning, that have negative connotation associated with providing carpet cleaning services. Like that's a service that's less than. What do you say to that person that's listening to the podcast right now?
I would say when you're waiting for them insurance claims to come in, it's 30, 60, 90 days. We're collecting money the same day. That's what I have to say to that.
There you go. Again, another cash on delivery service. You do not have to fool with insurance companies, and you can do it both residential and commercial. Have you done both residential and commercial carpet cleaning jobs?
Yeah, I mean, residential and commercial are extremely profitable, and I think people tend to not think about the commercial side of things because you can do office buildings, you can do apartment complexes, you can do hotels. So you can make a pretty nice spread on carpet cleaning.
What's the frequency in which the average, let's say, homeowner might get their carpets cleaned?
Again, it depends on their lifestyle. Some people may get their carpets cleaned every 6 months. Some people might get them cleaned annually. But the frequency is definitely a whole lot more than what air duct cleaning is.
All right. Any fancy licenses or certifications that you have to have in order to do carpet cleaning?
So the cool thing about carpet cleaning, you're not restricted like restoration or air duct cleaning, man. You can go be a chuck in a truck and with the Rug Doctor and go start cleaning carpets.
Okay.
So, but But the thing is that there is education for carpet cleaning. IICRC does have the CCT, carpet cleaning technician certification. So I would say that that is a good place to start if you do want to do carpet cleaning.
Okay, one more time, give the audience that certification from the
Yeah,
IICRC.
it's the CCT. It's the carpet cleaning technician through the IICRC.
Okay, and I assume you have that certification.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, so very low barrier to entry in terms of training
Mhm.
and certifications. The training is there. We encourage you guys to do that. Let's talk a little bit about initial investments in terms of equipment.
Mhm.
Rug doctor, probably not for everybody, right? So if you
Mm.
were a restoration company looking to add carpet cleaning as a service, what are the pieces of
Mhm.
equipment that you're going out and you're investing in day one?
So what I did, I'll tell you what the equipment that we get after the rug doctor. So after the rug doctor, we start getting Rotovac equipment. Rotovac is, in my opinion, is very good portable equipment.
Yep.
So they have the CFX and they have the Power One. So even though it's not a truck mounted unit, it gives the agitation. And if you can get the water hot enough, you can come up with a very similar result of what you can with a truck mount. So I would say definitely do a Rotovac 360 or the Power One. It gives a very effective clean. I remember going into customers' homes and they're thinking, "You're not gonna get this clean," and we finished, and they're like, "Wow, I can't even believe you got that out the carpet."
Well, for a lot of our restoration clients, though, they already have a truck mount associated with doing
Mhm.
mitigation work, right? So what additional pieces of equipment do they need to invest in to provide carpet cleaning services?
Well, it just depends on, what they got when they got the truck mount. They may have their hoses. I don't know if they have solution hoses, but, solution hoses would be one. I mean, they already have the vacuum hoses. Outside of that, get you some new wands, for when you're cleaning carpet, whether it's just the regular straight wand or one of the rotary power wands. It's very easy to add to with restoration.
Okay. Now, I know you cross train every technician in both of your locations to not only do water restoration, mitigation work, but also do duct cleaning and also carpet cleaning, right? So you've got the same technicians that, there's no excuse for them to be sitting around doing anything or doing nothing because there's always another air duct cleaning client. There's always another restoration client. There's always another carpet cleaning client. You get any pushback from your mitigation techs when you're like, hey, we're going to learn how to do carpet cleaning and you're going to go do that on a daily basis?
No, I don't get any pushback at all because, the understanding is when you come into our organization, you're going to learn how to do everything when it comes to the tech side. Because, like I said, you have certain times to where you're busy with restoration, mitigation. You have times you're busy with carpet cleaning. You have times you're busy with air duct cleaning. So it's important for everybody to know each area of expertise because I may need to pull one of you to go on another job.
Okay.
So that's the reason it's important for everybody to know.
All right, so let's talk about how you charge for carpet cleaning services. I'm a hardwood guy in my home, so I don't use carpet cleaning services. But for those who have carpet, are they paying by room based on square footage? How do you currently price out your carpet cleaning services?
So we charge per room, but you're right. The people do charge per square footage.
Okay.
It's different everywhere. That's you have to find out where it works for you and where you're gonna get your profit spread at. For me, it's simpler to charge by room. It's easier for the customer, and I'm not going out to the customer's home measuring their rooms, trying to determine what a price is. Because 9 times out of 10, when a customer is calling to get their carpets clean, they want a price right then and there.
Sure.
They're like, "Hey, you know, can you do it for the special that you have on Google?" Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that special.
Okay.
Or, they have a special project that they're looking to do. I will say this, carpet cleaners, there's a lot more carpet cleaners out there. So you have to be ready to close that sale when you get that phone call when you have a carpet cleaning job.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the promotions that you've had success with in the past in terms of carpet
Mhm.
cleaning, right? So, what is a good promotion that you've run either in Memphis or in Birmingham that's just brought in a lot of business for you?
Yeah, so back in the day, man, we used to do 3 rooms, $99. We don't do that anymore. But we do a 2 room for 129.
Okay.
That works very well for us.
Okay, 2 rooms, 129. How long does it take a technician to properly do carpet cleaning for 2 rooms?
It just depends on how big the rooms are and if they got to go up steps or whatever the case is. But if they're in the house, and the rooms are relatively close together, and it also depends on how bad the carpet is. The customer wants some type of stain removal or whatever the case is too. But if you're just going in and just doing a standard clean, 2 rooms, I mean, 30 minutes,
Okay.
if that.
All right, so
Yeah.
it's still pretty damn profitable,
Yeah.
if you look at it. If we look at extreme services as a pie, we talked about what percentage is restoration. We talked about what percentage is duct cleaning. Right now, what percentage of you guys' revenues comes from carpet cleaning?
Probably 10%.
Okay. All right, so we got 25 over here dedicated to duct cleaning, another 10% coming from carpet cleaning, and then the majority of the rest of the work is actually your core service, which is water mitigation, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about marketing. All right. So Groupon worked well for you when you first started out.
Don't do it now. Don't
Okay.
do it.
You would not suggest Groupon. All right. So for me, when I put my marketer hat on, I think some of the same rules apply to carpet
Mhm.
cleaning as some of the other services out there. Now, I think because it's a non-emergency service, right? More of a vanity, not necessarily vanity, but a service that more of an impulse decision to get it done. So you could
Mhm.
potentially run ads on Meta, places like Facebook and Instagram there. They
Absolutely.
probably need to be video content because that's the kind of stuff that's gonna resonate before and after a technician with the wand, like, actually
Mhm.
see what kind of impact it's gonna have on the floors there. I also just go back to the most important thing, right, which is having a website, that ranks organically with Google, having a Google business profile that shows up in the map pack there, and then obviously you could run a combination of local service ads and pay per click, which are going to show up at the top of the page. I find at Google, you're going to get a lot more people with higher intent because they search for it. They were looking for that particular service, as
Mhm.
opposed to somebody on social media who's scrolling through and just happens to see Bobby or one of his technicians on a job site doing some carpet cleaning work there. But I definitely think video is probably the play if you're going to promote those kind of services on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, those kind of platforms there. Outside of that, have you done any direct mail for carpet cleaning services?
Yeah, we do direct mail for carpet cleaning as well too. It turns to be pretty lucrative too. So, with carpet cleaning, I would say, like what you just said, you want to have like diversity in your marketing, right? So we have, direct mail, the the online Google search,
Mhm.
and then get ready to get started with the social media side of things. So social media we haven't really done a ton of it, but when it comes to pay per click and direct mail, we've been doing that since the inception of doing carpet cleaning.
Okay. All right. So paid ads, direct mail. You have, I guess you've kind of served as your business development rep, getting out there, making relationships, getting referral business that way. Is
Hmm.
it possible for a business development rep to go out and try to secure some of those larger commercial opportunities for you, right? Whether it's a school or an office building, and what's that process look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest with you, you don't have to hire a rep for that. Your technicians are a representation of you in the first place. So you can be, your technician can be in a home, and let's say they don't have a job immediately after that, and let's say there's a hotel right next door to it or whatever.
All right.
They can swing by and leave a brochure or flyer, say, "Hey, when's the last time you had your carpet cleaned? We'd love the opportunity to earn your business," and
Like that.
so forth and so on. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we've done that numerous times. We've done promotions for apartment complexes to where, let us prove to ourselves. Let us clean your first unit for free, and if we do a good job, let us have the rest of your units.
There you go. Especially apartment complexes that just have constant turnover, right? They've got
Mhm.
new people moving in. You got old people leaving there. Every time somebody leaves, either the carpet's getting ripped out or the carpet's getting cleaned significantly, right?
Right.
So those
Well,
are
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I said so those would be good opportunities for somebody like yourself to get in there and meet with those property managers and try to get those long-term contracts to provide that service.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I think that's definitely key. But you do want to be, selective on what apartments that you pick too, because you have some property management companies that don't pay the way that they need to pay,
Oh,
and you
okay.
and you have some that um, try to stick it to you with price. Well, hey, can you do this price? Don't compromise your integrity with what your price needs to be for you to be in business. If that price is too low, there's somebody else that will pay your price. Don't take the low hanging fruit just because it's available.
Now, have you provided water mitigation services to somebody that remembered Bobby Thomas and Extreme Services from carpet cleaning services?
Yeah, definitely. We
Okay.
sure have. So it does cross. We've done. water restoration for several homeowners. We've done water restoration and mold remediation for apartment complexes because you're already doing the work and they have the contact because, I'm sure you heard the saying, people do business with people that they like and that they know, right?
No like and
So if you're
trust, man. No like and trust.
exactly. So, if you already have that relationship, they're absolutely going to reach out to you.
All right. I guess to piggyback on that, what would you tell Bobby Thomas from a decade plus ago that was doing carpet cleaning? What lessons have you learned in the meantime?
Hmm.
Besides, not don't try to be the cheapest guy on the block because then
Right.
ultimately that'll impact your margins. What other lessons have you learned over the last few years that you would give to somebody that's in the restoration space that ultimately is looking to add carpet cleaning as an additional service?
I would say in the beginning, it can be challenging in the beginning. So have the mindset that you are going to have some obstacles trying to obtain business in the beginning, but stick with it. Because as the more the longer that you're in the industry and people begin to know who you are, they will begin to call you more, and you'll get more business. I think that's with any business. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to really mess with you too much.
Okay.
But if you stay in the game, it'll get better. As far as lessons go, man, I could probably be here all day with bloopers that we had when we got started, especially on the portables with a rotovac because we used to hook up to the customer's faucet and me not paying any attention or not knowing about some of the faucets. If you don't hook them up properly, you can cause a water damage when you're hooking up to their water sources.
Oh, okay.
So paying attention to what you're doing, um, securing your hoses, and cleaning and maintaining your equipment as well too. So it's very important to maintain your equipment, um, especially after a job. You don't want to go into a customer's home and you did 3 jobs yesterday. You don't clean the equipment. You go into a new house on the very next day, and it is funky. It smells like
Yeah.
old cat hair coming to the house. So,
100%,
uh,
100%. Well, that's it goes back to customer experience, right? You want your
exactly.
technicians to look sharp, you want your equipment to look sharp, you want your service to be on point there, and if you're coming
Hmm.
in with equipment that was used the day before and hasn't properly been cleaned, you're right, it
Absolutely.
looks bad on your company, right?
Hmm.
I also think another benefit is you can do a higher volume of carpet cleaning jobs than you can water mitigation jobs, but you can still get those carpet cleaning clients to go to your Google business profile and write a review for that service. And we both know the
Absolutely.
more of those reviews that you get, that's a ranking factor, right? That's one of the
Mm.
ranking factors that Google uses, right? So if you get reviews for these additional services, maybe they're not as big ticket as the water mitigation job, but
Right.
uh, uh, you're getting a better reputation with Google, and that's going to overall improve your ranking there in the map section there. So that's just
Correct.
another added benefit there. You've got to put systems in place though, and Bobby and I have
Mm.
talked about this recently. You got to put systems in place so that every time one of your technicians is on site wrapping up a job, I don't care if it's
Mm.
duct cleaning, carpet cleaning, or mitigation, if that homeowner had a good experience working with,
Mm.
in your case, Extreme Services, before you even leave that door, you need to be asking that client to go on Google and write a review for you. That's how valuable those reviews are. But Bobby and I are going to put in a system in his business in place to make sure he's getting more of those 5-star reviews. And if the audience, if you guys want help promoting whether it's carpet cleaning or any of the other restoration services that you might provide, you can always reach out to our agency, Water Restoration Marketing. You can find us at waterrestorationmarketing.net. Bobby, any last thoughts that you have for someone that, again, because of the stigma, carpet
Yeah.
cleaning versus restoration clients, you've already mentioned, hey, while they're worried about, 30, 60, 90-day account receivables from insurance work, your
Mhm.
technicians are out there collecting money each day doing these carpet cleaning services. Any message you have besides, the speed in which you get paid for these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I wanna give a perspective more so from a business side versus just a service. The perspective I wanna give is as a business owner and a CEO, you wanna have profit centers that are diversified in your company. So you're not feeding into your company just with one revenue source. If you're able to diversify your profits, um, you know, you're able to if one gets slow, you can kinda balance and mitigate with the other ones. But I think it's very important to diversify as a business owner and CEO. Um, It allows you more flexibility and versatility with your company, with your associates, because I think we all get crunched every now and then, especially with cash flow. And again, I think carpet cleaning and air duct cleaning, and even other services that which are cash on delivery services, are great for added with restoration. Don't get me wrong, you can get extremely busy with restoration, which is fantastic. I've made millions of dollars from restoration, but there are times, especially if you're a newer person, don't get so caught up on the high tickets. Those lower tickets will pay the bills just like the higher
Yeah,
tickets.
there you go. That's a great point, especially for guys that are just getting started in the restoration space. They are going to sit there and twiddle their thumbs waiting for the next
Mhm.
mitigation job, where they could just do some things on the marketing perspective to make sure that they've got calls coming in for some of these additional services. And cash is
Absolutely.
king, right? Revenue doesn't care where it came from, right? As long as it's profitable, and it also provides an opportunity for a restoration company that might be slowing down a little bit on the restoration services during a
Mhm.
week or a month or a quarter, rather than laying off technicians because you don't have enough work for them. You've just got a different kind of work for them. I trust me, that technician would rather stay on board doing carpet cleaning than be unemployed, right?
Absolutely.
So have you found that adding these additional services has allowed you to maintain your head count a lot more, even through the ups and downs of water mitigation?
It definitely helps. I mean, when you do take larger dips in restoration, you do have to evaluate at that point. But that's with any company. You can look at, Chase Bank or any of these other larger corporations. You always hear it to where there's some type of downsizing, but you absolutely are able to keep majority of your technicians on hand and keep them paid. Ultimately, you have to evaluate the health of your business and you have to make the decision for your company.
Yeah, I like that. Audience, I hope you like what you heard today. Thank you guys for sticking around. Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast are going to be back with more of these conversations about additional services that restoration companies can add. We're also going to be talking to some other industry leaders about technology that you guys can be implementing to drive revenue. From a marketing standpoint, I'm always here to discuss that. We really appreciate you guys' time. Bobby, thank you again for joining me on another episode.
Oh, thanks for having me, Clinton. I mean, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it,
All
man.
right. For our audience, we appreciate you guys' time. Again, uh, until next time, we ask that you stay safe, stay busy, and stay dry. Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Clinton.
Thank you for listening to the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. If you like what you heard today, be sure to subscribe, share, and also leave us a 5-star review. We'll be back with more interviews and discussions with restoration industry leaders really soon. In the meantime, if you're a restoration company looking to add more high-value water jobs, you can reach me and my team at waterrestorationmarketing.net. Again, that's waterrestorationmarketing.net. I look forward to hearing from you soon.